Continuing with my plan to review every single episode of Match, today I'm going to be reviewing the 4th episode of Season 1, Chief Surgeon Who. So this is the episode where Hawkeye is appointed Chief Surgeon, because Henry recognizes that he is the best surgeon, and it's also in response to the fact that Frank is complaining about Hawkeye being disrespectful to Frank. And let's be real, Hawkeye, Trapper, Henry, all don't have a high opinion of Frank as a doctor. And Hawkeye and Trapper certainly don't have a high opinion of Frank as a officer. And even though when we get later on, later on in the show, they actually probably do more showing that Frank is not a good doctor. But this is still early on; they're still figuring stuff out. But even still, they're clearly taking the stance that Hawkeye is one of the best surgeons at the 477. Sure, earlier in the episode, Frank was say, "Oh, I had a thriving practice back home," but there's also reference to Hawkeye gave the recommendation to, I believe it was Spiritual Coach, to do one thing, which is different what the manual said. And Hawkeye's response when Frank pointed that out was that he's out of date on his journals, i.e. his medical journals. He's not keeping up with new research. Another reason why, in the story, Hawkeye is the better choice to be chief surgeon. Of course, the next half of the story is Frank complains up the chain of command, going over Henry said. He can't do it, so Margaret does it. No, seriously, Frank can't. He's not even a good officer, he's true. But yeah. So General Barker comes and a bunch of small vignettes that are just showing the craziness that goes on. Hawkeye, Trapper, Spiritual, and some other character, I forget the name, are playing poker while they're waiting for a patient to stabilize before they can begin surgery. And Barker's like, do surgery now, because he's not getting the full story, and probably in his frustrated that he was called out here for this, probably wasn't fully paying attention. But Hawkeye does impress him when it was time to complete the surgery. Barker joined in and the surgery was done successfully, so that impressed Barker and made Hawkeye look good. But anyhow, so that was the first vignette though, kind of just them playing poker. Then General Barker, he's wandering around the camp trying to find Henry. Well, first he trips over a trash can, and which is kind of funny, But then he encounters a soldier who is hiding a nurse under his poncho. Wonder what's going on there. Then he goes into Henry's office where Radar is smoking a cigar and drinking some bourbon, which seems very out of character for Radar. Later on in this show, they definitely play up Radar's innocence a lot more, but not as much in these early episodes. They haven't really figured out that part of Radar's character yet. Well, then he goes looking for Henry, and with this before, well, two more vignettes. First one is I'm going to hold off on the one I want to talk about because he goes into one tent and then I forget which character, but one character and the nurse are apparently playing strip poker. And okay, he leaves because that's when he finally got the information on where to go for Henry's tent. It's either just before that or on the way is when he meets Klinger, which is the first time we see Klinger in MASH. He's wearing a WAC uniform, so Women's Auxiliary Corps uniform, and the general is still trying to get out on a Section 8. Actually, I think he might have said on Psycho or something else, but and Klinger confirms yes. It's like, it is funny because every character knows that this is just Klinger doing an act. No, he's playing into the expectations of his time. I'm getting a little bit more analytical here, but in a sense, Klinger is playing into the expectations of his society, of the time that he's living, in order to get kicked out of the army because he doesn't want to be there. Now, not early on, but later on in the series, we'll get more insight into why Klinger is doing this. I.e., I'm going to spoil it for you, but it's simply because he does not want to die or get hooked. It makes sense. And, I mean, for what is it, small and all that, not too much, but it really is, because it introduces a fan favorite character, but it also does say something like, Klinger is literally playing into his time's stereotypes. Does he know that or not? But he is for his own benefit, for his own selfish motivation, because he wants to get out of the army. But it does take somebody who knows a thing or two to be able to, like, you know what? I know how the rules are. I'm going to exploit them for my benefit. And Klinger is taking advantage of the society of the time. Granted, everyone at the camp is like, who cares? So that doesn't hurt, that doesn't help Klinger, but also says something about them. They're like, they know what Klinger's doing, and like, they don't care, because at the very end, and Klinger does another stunt by just wearing the WAC hat, nothing else, and Hawkeye Job are like, at least put a dress or a slip on. And that shows they're just nonchalant about it. They don't, like, if Klinger wants to wear that, they're fine with it. They don't care. They don't mind. And just kind of interesting in the stuff we can talk about with Klinger and that. It's an interesting topic. While I could talk about more, but just to do kind of a brief summary. While I don't think Klinger would be, how we would in our modern language say trans or gay. He's definitely not gay because he is interested in women. But you can definitely tell, especially later on in the show, that he does like, wearing female clothes. And I could simply make him a cross-gender or just a man who's more in touch with his feminine side. Could go many different ways. And there are better people than me to speak on this. I forget the channel name, but the channel has a great breakdown of the stuff with Klinger, how it is a product of its time, but also how it was ahead of its time in some ways. If I can remember that, if I can find that video, I'll link it up in the cards or drop in the comment section so you can check it out. And the last kind of vignette is when General Barker then meets Henry, and Henry's been looking for... First Barker enters the tent and is one of the nurses there, and of course, go figure, everyone's just doing everything else 477. It's subtext, but it's always there, it's clearly there. But Henry comes in, and he was looking for a woman so they could go fishing, him and the nurse. So, yeah, that's something, at least. But yeah. And then General Barker tells Henry to leave the rooms when Barker wants to go again to see what Hawkeye is doing. And that's when the surgery scene begins. Now, there is probably more stuff I can say about this episode, but really, it's a quite fun episode, We get some more character stuff going on, we get Klinger's first appearance, and actually, I think Klinger's first appearance is probably the most important thing about this episode, because it introduces a new character. A character that will become a fan favorite, a very beloved character, and especially later on in the show wouldn't have been the same without Klinger. Now, unfortunately, we won't have another Klinger appearance until season 2, because he was only for a one-off when they were filming season 1, only one episode, unfortunately, but we still got probably about 18 to 20 episodes before we get there, at least to season 2. I forget which episode season 2 was he reappeared. But you know what? We'll talk about that when we get there. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, please be sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel to stay up to date for future content. And also let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comment section down below. And as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. Have a good one. Bye! Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like, as well as subscribe to my channel and ring that bell to stay up to date on my latest content. Also, be sure to check out the link tree in the description, as well as any other links I have down there.